the last time we spoke to him on the phone was in March, and we've had no updates because his family, doctors, lawyers haven't been allowed to see him for 7 months. So yeah, we're not sure really.
Been more in the dark recently than we've ever been, I would say, through his incarceration.
He is supposed to be allowed to see his family and lawyers, as I understand it.
Yeah, the court mandates, I think, a phone call every 2 weeks minimum. We haven't spoken to him since March. The stint at which we're able to speak to him stretches, so this has been a particularly long one, maybe the longest one.
And you were hoping to get out to Pakistan, as I understand it, to see him at the beginning of the year. What happened with that?
We never got a visa that we were able to get. Our NICOP cards, which are kind of identity cards, essentially a Pakistani passport, are expired. So we're not able to go via those, and the visa has never come. There were technical difficulties, so for some reason we're not allowed to go over.
As I understand it, the Defence Minister had said it would be perfectly fine for you guys to come.
Yeah, there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to get accepted for a visa, but the powers that be have meant is that way.
And you continue to press?
Well, as much as we can, but we've said on multiple interviews that, you know, we're trying, we'd like to go, but nothing materialised.
Earlier this week, the UN Special Rapporteur on Torture did release a statement. She said that your father's treatment violates the Mandela rules. And this is the first sort of, let's call it a win if you like, for you guys from the United Nations. You've been calling on the UN and other international bodies to do more. How do you feel about that in principle?
Well, it is a win. It's definitely a win, and we really appreciate Dr. Alice put out that tweet on X 3 days ago. But they had actually, the UN special, she actually had made a statement before saying that his treatment could amount to torture, and actually the UN special working group on arbitrary detention had already called his detention unlawful maybe 2 years ago. And we haven't seen much progress since then. If anything, it's got worse, his conditions and his treatment. So it's a win, and we appreciate it, but we'd like to see some results from it.
He is accused of corruption, amongst other things. What do you make of the allegations?
It's one of the most frustrating things to hear. When us growing up, all we've ever heard was how poisonous corruption can be, and to a country how much it can just it can destroy a country, and that's what he's seen in Pakistan. And when he came over to England, he was able to see the differences and the ways that he could improve Pakistan, and eventually went back to Pakistan, went into politics. He's preached anti-corruption for as long as we've been alive, and so and seen him act on it as well. And so if behind closed doors he's preaching to a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old about corruption, it's so frustrating for him to then be accused now. And for us, it's just plain lies and deceit from a government that's been one of the most openly corrupt governments in years. You can see with the rigging of the last election.
And to the rest of the world, what's the message?
I would say if anyone with the power to take action, please look this way, because I know there's a lot going on, but this is one of the most frustrating things, not as sons, but for a whole country, for 350 million people who have voted for him, who support him, all want him to, lead the country. Instead, they're being shunned, and they're instead the person they want in power is behind bars for no good reason.
Yeah, I would just say push for the Pakistani regime to respect human rights of all the political prisoners, and to respect democracy and the will of Pakistan's people, which clearly, if anyone looked at the previous election, they could see it was a sham election, and it was massively rigged.
Do you think, offered a deal, that your dad would take it?
I don't think he would. It's hard to say. I haven't spoken to him in a long time. It's God knows what state he's in. They're refusing to show us any kind of health reports, so his health may have deteriorated significantly since then. It may be the only way for him to kind of be in any sort of decent physical state. But I know that mentally he's the toughest person I know, and he wouldn't without. I don't see him leaving the other political prisoners in there and taking some kind of deal unless they were able to get some kind of resolution as well. But I can't, honestly, as a son, I would love to see him again in person or a phone call even.
Do you think he has any regrets? I mean, this is clearly a period for reflection. I mean, do you get that sense?
I don't think he's the sort of person that would regret anything that he's done so far. Yeah, I think he's just, because even when his freedoms have been and his conditions have got worse with every time he's put out a statement or a tweet through someone who's visited him, he's doubled down the next time, which is probably part of the reason he's not being allowed to see anyone. But he didn't sound like he regretted anything any of the times we've spoken to him, so I wouldn't say so.